I kind of feel like black folks or hip hop folks should invest in hip hop now.
So
was that a good question?
First, that was a really good question. You felt good about it.
You make some noise I'm sorry. I like that.
No, it was sharp. It was sober.
Not enough for a shot?
It was poignant a little bit. It was poignent. Yeah. Okay.
Cheers. Well, I want you to answer the question. We need blacks to invest in blacks.
Cheers. Okay. Yes.
Cheers.
Yes.
So that one hit me. That's what they were laughing at.
Got a woman here.
All right. So first of all, it's always been the case, right? That my manager Miguel, he's still in here. He would always say, "What's urban is suburban." Right. So our community has always led, right? So
led, you said.
Led.
Okay, yes.
Always led, right? So it was, brands, before Run DMC were always looking at what was happening.
Stan Smith.
Yes, absolutely. They were always looking at what happened in the inner city. And then once Run DMC really, they broke the barrier. They didn't have a deal with Adidas. They were wearing Adidas before they had a deal with Adidas.
And then Adidas went to the concert and they
saw that. Right. And then they were like, oh, got it. Right? So Adidas didn't even know their sales were spiking because Run DMC was wearing Adidas. Right? So the idea of the inner cities and urban communities leading in fashion and branding, as we've always been that. So in terms of the question of why we don't do that, so we do it. It's bandwidth is an issue, right?
You can only do so much.
So I know Kevin Hart's company. By
the way, Heartbeat. Overbrook, I big y'all up, man. You're doing great. Both from Philly.
Yes.
Both from Philly. Yeah, both from Philly. I big y'all up. Yes.
Definitely, but when you get to 15 projects, you're at your whole company's bandwidth.
Right.
But there's 4,000, people who deserve a look, right? But it's like, you got one executive that's working 10 projects that they believe in, that one is going to go. Right? So you look at a company after 4 years, and it's like, so for us with our company with like Bel-Air,
okay.
Right? So we got black staff and, black and brown writing and staff and all of that. But it takes everything our TV division has to keep that show up and relevant and going. And then you just don't have the bandwidth to have a second one going. It's like all hands on deck to make sure the show wins. Because when you get the shot, you have to win too. Right? So, we have that, we set it up, and then, things happen. So you start building it out, right? So you'll start building out your divisions and you get going, and then there's a strike.
Oh yeah, the writer's strike.
Now there's a writer's strike, and you have to, you can't survive because you can't work and you can't hold 100% staff. So you got to scale down to 20% staff until the strike is over. Now you lose all of these great people, you lose all of these great projects, and now you're starting up all over again, right? So there are business considerations. Like Tyler Perry has the most stable foundation of being able to make things and churn them out. But it's bandwidth also. Tyler's writing and directing, all of the stuff too, right? So it's really, it is, the idea is simple to say, but when you look at staffing,
the reality
of it is, if you have a staff of 40, you could get to bandwidth on a staff of 40 people with 2 projects. You could be you get 2 big things going, and what it takes to keep it going is it's really hard. Then what happens is then you have to let other people be in charge, right? So when I'm looking over a project, I'm the taste. Right? So, I have other people that are really good taste, but as you get broader, you lose the taste. Right. And then you start making things that aren't good, and that's not helpful either. So it is a complex. It's a complex problem.
And more complex in today's media landscape where everything is 24/7.
Everything is turning over so fast.
Be on top of it 24/7.
Yeah, 10 years ago, you could take a big bet and be pretty sure you're going to make it.
It's limited box office, limited TV or whatever. Right.
So it is, it is difficult. And people now are thinking of it as disposable.
Right.
Right, so
movies, disposable.
Well, entertainment in general,
that's a fact.
Content is disposable.
Seems free to everybody.
So you can't even make a $2 million bet on something because people might decide that that's not.
This guy here is doing it with AI.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it is a difficult issue, and I'm in a lot of those rooms. It is not because people are not trying to make it. Yeah, it is not because people are not trying.
That's great.
Yeah.
So they always say that being the first person is beautiful, but you get frowned upon, right?
Yeah.
I'm using that lightly again. You were the first person to win a Grammy, first rapper
to ever win a Grammy
during the boycott, right?
We boycotted, and
you boycotted and won,
yeah.
And you still accepted your shit?
Yeah, that's gangster, though, right? Yeah. We didn't accept it.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
There you go. All right.
Yo, boycott it.
Yeah.
By the way,
just look into my eyes.
Yeah. We're making a statue for you. We're making a statue. Okay. So describe us this year.
But were you guys solely boycotting on your own, or it felt like it was a hip hop boycott?
It was a hip hop boycott.
Right, okay.
So what happened? So it was the first year ever that hip hop got acknowledged by the Grammys.
Right.
So they acknowledged that they had the category, but they said they weren't going to televise
the hip hop category.
The hip hop category. They weren't going to televise it. So we were like, well, wait, we sold more records than everybody. Like,
for sure.
Why is our stuff not being televised? So Russell Simmons and Leor Cohen and MTV organized a boycott.
Okay, and you're not on Def Jam.
I'm not on Def Jam.
No, but
Rush's
right?
management.
Yeah. Rush management. Okay, makes sense. Okay, I just wanted to make it sense. Okay,
yeah. So
I'm getting hyped. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So they organized a boycott. They said nobody's going. So MTV has a counter show that's going to boycott the Grammys. So we go, and 2 days before the Grammys, we find out that Kool Moe Dee has agreed to appear on the Grammys.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah. With the big glasses and all that. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool.
So Kool Moe Dee, he and it's so crazy because it seems so little and silly now, but it was like the biggest thing in
so
the
everyone
world.
Looked at Kool Moe Dee as the betrayer.
Yeah, like Kool Moe Dee went, and me and Mo were like great friends. We still are, but it was like huge that he crossed the line and he went and did an intro.
Wow.
To the Grammys?
To the Grammys.
Oh, wow.
Right? So
yeah, leather.
He did the whole joint.
Hey, man, Kool Moe Dee's a legend.
He's known for having leather, though.
It was just, it's so funny because it was like the biggest, like our lives depended on this. And it was like the worst shit that ever happened. Me and Mo laugh about this now. But so we're there, and it's us and Salt and Pepper and LL and Stetsasonic, and so it's like 50 rappers, and we're standing and we're watching, and they're doing the show, and then they do the earlier tonight awards were given in the rap category, and we're standing with all the rappers, and me and Jeff are standing, we looking at the TV, and we were nominated against it was OPP. It was
was it still a rap and R&B? The way
no, it was just rap. It was the first time that it was just rap. So it was like us, LL, Salt and Pepper. Who else was nominated? Supersonic. Oh, that's right. Yeah. JJ Fab. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing a fifth one. Run DMC was in there. All right. So it was so everybody was nominated. So we're standing there and we're watching the TV. and they say, and earlier this afternoon, DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince were awarded Best Rap. And we're standing there with everybody, and I was like,
To the boycott.
I was like,
Oh, because you didn't know you were going to win.
I was like, I didn't know we were going to
You
win.
won? Oh, yo,
So
okay.
you were kind of like,
I didn't know we were going to win. I was like, man, me and Jeff went in the other room, and it was like, yo, the first Grammy ever given to a rapper. And it was like, we never really, had the chance to fully celebrate. Right. But it was really giant hearing that we won
100%.
the first ever.